Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome to the House of Pain. Boy, this market just never ends up quitting, does it? Well, we're down again today. So I thought I would buy the dip again today. Bought around 9 o'clock this morning. The dip kept on giving, kept on going down lower and lower throughout the day. So it's kind of like, when will it stop? And unfortunately, I just don't know when, but we are getting really clobbered here. I think we're at the near bottom, if not far away from it at least. So we got some articles to talk about. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, see how it did today, see how the miners did today. The miners got basically trampled on today, and it wasn't pretty. We'll also take a look at some stories about MicroStrategy, US Luna, US stablecoin. We'll take a look at that. And it wasn't Luna, something else, Terra Labs. We'll take a look at that. El Salvador Buys The Dip. And we got some other stories to cover. Also, Argo provided their operational update for April, so we'll take a look at that. And I feel you guys' pain. It's not easy out there in the market today. All right, so let's take a look at it here. So not financial advice, as always. You guys know the drill here. I'm invested in the following coins and companies. I did buy some more Cleanspark and Bitfarms this morning, thinking that maybe we're at the bottom. It didn't happen that way. It kept on going down lower. So we'll have to wait until possibly next week to buy more. So here we go. Also, of the 16 miners that I'm covering right now, all but 2 have reached new 52-week lows, which is just incredible. All right, so let's get into it here. So Annie is down 22.37%, $1.18 right now in value. It's down in the after hours a little bit more as well. As you can see here, it reached its new all-time low of $1.17.5. And we're looking at the short interest here kind of right now. And it seems like the short interest on Annie has picked up a little bit in the last reported of 414, so about 3.8 million shares short, it looks like. Let's take a look at Argo. Argo is down 7.14% today to 65 cents. It reached a new low today at 62 cents for the 52 weeks. We don't have any data on the short there. Let's take a look at BitDigital. BitDigital was down 16.15%, so it's at $1.61 right now. It reached a new all-time low, 52-week low of $1.61. We're kind of seeing the short interest kind of going down a little bit. They have about 9.1 million shares shorted as of 4/14. Bitfarms was way down, also was down 20% today, almost 19.93% to $2.17. I bought in right around the $2.25 mark, thinking, ooh, smart bet there. It kept on going down. It's down another 0.46 in the after hours to $2.16. And short interest on this one is also going down. It's about 15.7 million shares short as of 4/14. Cleanspark was down 13.76% to $5.64. I bought in at a little bit higher than that, at about $5.73. I think I got in a little bit. It's up a little bit in the after hours at $3.19 to $5.82. We're also seeing short interest on Cleanspark going down. Last time reported is 6.5 million roughly, and then 4/14. Core Scientific was down 13.15% to $4.49. It's down a little bit more in the after hours. It too reached a new 52-week low of $4.35. We're seeing short interest growing on Core Scientific right now. Last reported was 10.3 million. Oop, might want that go all the way over there. It's stuck on that one. It won't go. Well, that's not good, but it's obviously up higher than that right now. So it might be around 10.5 or something like that, or even higher than that. I just can't make my mouse go over there. And then we got Digihost. So Digihost was down a lot, 25.45% to $1.67. It has also reached a new 52-week low on the chart here that we're seeing. And it has short interest of about 650,000 shares, last reported 4/14. These are all pretty much 4/14, I think. DMG was down 17.89% to 27 cents. The low 52-week low was also reached today at 27 cents, 0.65. No short data on them. Hive was down also today, 17.14% to $1.16. It reached a new 52-week low of $1.15 as well today. It is up a little bit in the after hours to $1.17, and we're seeing short interest on them increasing as well. Last reported was 4/14 of 16.5 million shares shorted. Hut 8 was down 17.01%, excuse me, to $2.83. It is up 1.41% to $2.87. It reached a new 52-week low of $2.78 today. Shares shorted is 13.15 million, reported for 14. Iris Energy was down 10.22% to $8.52. It is up 4.69% in the after hours to $8.92. It has also reached 52-week lows today of $8.44. Short interest on them has been coming down. It is at 411,000, sorry, approximately, and that was reported on 4/14. Luxxfolio was down as well, down 1.29% to 15 cents. It reached a new 52-week low of 14.40. So it's 14.40 right there. No short interest on them. Data. Marathon was down 19.2% today to $12.08. And it did reach a new 52-week low of $11.77 today. Short interest on them has been coming down, and it is at about 17 million shares as of 4/14. Mawson was down 7.16% to $3.37. It's down a little bit in the after hours as well. It has not reached a new 52-week low. That was reached back here, I believe. 52-week low was $2. So this was prior to this. So we would have to go probably back further for Iris to get the low on it right there. For some reason, we just had a weird candle marker there. So this might be actually the low, the 52-week low on the chart. And short interest on that one is at 397,000, reported on 4/14. Riot was down 19.18% to $7.67. It reached a new 52-week low of $7.53. It is down in the after hours a little bit to $7.65. Short interest on them seems to be kind of leveled out. It looks like about 20 million.3 shares or so shorted on Riot, which is a lot. And then Stronghold was down 21.29% to $2.44. It reached a new 52-week low of $2.35. It is up nicely in the after hours. It's up 7.38% to $2.62. Short interest has increased on them to 1.6 million shares roughly from 1.5 million shares. So nasty day in the markets. A lot of 20% plus decreases in value, some 25%, 17%. So it was a rough day. Not going to lie on that one. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is not doing too good either. So Bitcoin was down massively today. We crossed over to the new day right now, but looking at the candle chart here, we were down 11.61% on the day. We closed at 30,078 for the day on that one. And we can see here that we just kept on falling. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight days where we've been falling like crazy. We have obviously gone below the RSI of 30 here, which signals that we were slightly oversold. Last time we were this low, we were actually lower on the RSI, and we had a price of, which is strange, we had a price here, was right around here. So 34,000, and the RSI was lower, which makes me think we might be going down even lower with this market, depending on how things play out. But we'll look at some stories that also kind of say that might be happening. On the 1 hour chart, I talked to you guys about it yesterday. We were looking at it about what was that? That was about 1,700 hours, 1,800 hours, right around there. I said, based on the RSI that I'm seeing here, the RSI has been going up while the price has been going down. I said, more than likely, we're going to be falling. And then testing this line, well, we tested it a couple of times here in the hourly chart, and then we just dumped right through it going into this morning. So that wasn't pretty, obviously. Nothing was pretty in the market today. So we'll have to see how Bitcoin goes. Right now, the support that we're seeing kind of on it on the daily chart, you can kind of see it back here, which we had, where was it? Right there. So that was kind of our support right here of 30,000 roughly. It bounced off of it, looks like once here. So that's kind of acting as a slight, small support. But after that, our next kind of support line might be around the 28,680. And if we fall through that, they're saying we're going down to like 24,000, which would obviously be like another 18% lower than where we are right now. So it would not be good. But obviously, hopefully, we end up with capitulation having, gone all the way down. And hopefully we can rebound from that and start a nice little bull rally. I don't know if we're going to be able to cross the 67,000 mark on Bitcoin, but we'll see. Ethereum, same thing, is at 2,265 right now. It's been basically following like everything else. As Bitcoin has been falling, we may have some support here at around 2,165 roughly. After that, I think our next support is going to be probably around the 1,700 mark, roughly 1,750 or so, based on what I'm seeing here and the candles. So we'll see. It's nasty. You want to be upbeat about it and buy the dips, and the dips keep on coming, and that's never fun. So let's take a look at some of the news stories we got, and then we'll take a look at Argo. All right, so El Salvador buys the Bitcoin dip, adding 500 coins to its balance sheet. So if there's anything to be positive about, it's El Salvador buying more right now. So El Salvador just added another 15.5 million worth of Bitcoin to its balance sheet as the world's most popular cryptocurrency continues its sell-off. In a tweet on Monday, President Nayib, I think it's Bukal, revealed that the country bought the dip, adding another 500 Bitcoin to the government coffers. I wish I could do that. It is El Salvador's largest coin purchase since it first began adding the digital currency to its balance sheet in September of 2021. The same month, it became the first country to adopt Bitcoin as legal tender alongside the US dollar. I think they have to kind of buy it, unfortunately. I think otherwise they may have to default in bankruptcy and go back to the IMF pleading for more money, which I don't think they want to do. So they're going to build up their coffers while Bitcoin is going down. Hopefully it doesn't go down too much lower, maybe around the 24,000, and then we'll stabilize things. So we'll see. So that's at least something to be positive about. Next is UST stablecoin loses dollar peg for second time in 48 hours, which is concerning. So I was right. Luna market cap falls below UST's. So they've been buying obviously a lot of Bitcoin to basically peg it to the UST, but obviously with the market going down the way it is, it's putting a lot of strain on it, and it's obviously below the $1 mark. So the development comes after the Luna Foundation Guard announced that its massive Bitcoin reserves will be used to defend UST's dollar peg. So Terra USD has lost its dollar peg for the second time in 3 days, falling to as low as 90 cents on Monday, according to the most recent price estimates from CoinMarketCap, which is basically 10 cents below where it should be. With the dollar, it should be dollar for dollar. UST, a so-called algorithmic stablecoin, works with the Luna to maintain a price of $1 using a set of on-chain mint and burn mechanisms. In theory, these mechanics work to ensure traders can always swap $1 worth of UST for $1 worth of Luna, which has a floating price and is meant to serve as a kind of shock absorber for UST's price. Obviously, we're having a run on the money a little bit today. So Luna's price decline puts it market cap below the UST's. That potentially throws the foundation of UST's entire mechanism into jeopardy because it means a Terra bank run could lead to some users no longer being able to redeem their $1 of UST for $1 of Luna, which is always a problem. So major stress. So today DPEG comes after the Luna Foundation Guard announced Sunday night that 1.5 billion of its massive Bitcoin reserves would be loaned out to professional market makers to proactively defend UST dollar peg. So over the past several days, market volatility across crypto assets has been significant. The market turmoil is also reflected by the past week's uncertain macro conditions across legacy asset classes. Obviously, you're talking about the markets in NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. Everything's going down, so that's throwing a wrench into everything. Monday's events were the biggest stress test the system has ever faced. Jose Maria Macedo, a partner at Delphi Digital and an LFG council member who helps manage the group's reserves, told CoinDesk, but he added that the UST Luna market cap flip is not a cause for concern because of LFG's reserves. So hopefully that's not a concern. Shortly after Macedo's call with CoinDesk, Terra appeared to empty out all the funds, around $1.3 billion, from its confirmed Bitcoin address. A few minutes later, Do Kwon, the outspoken CEO of Terra's creators, Terraform Labs, tweeted, "Deploying more capital, steady lads." Right, so he's trying to steady the market a little bit with putting more money into it. And we'll obviously have to see how this plays out. They've been buying a lot. Maybe they just need to buy more on the dip. They already have, I think, 3.5 million or something like that, 3.5 billion, and they want to get to 10 billion. So right now might not be a bad time to buy the dip for them if that's what they are planning on doing. Next is MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy goes underwater in latest Bitcoin, right? We know MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor has been buying up Bitcoin like crazy over the last year. So the largest corporate Bitcoin holder is on the red. Bitcoin dipped to 30,330 on Monday. It's now below that. Obviously, MicroStrategy paid an average of 30,700 for each Bitcoin it holds. So the Bitcoin price hasn't had a good performance in the past few weeks, dropping as much as 20% in just 36 days since the end of its latest relief rally in late March. But over the past few days, BTC has extended its losses as it plunged an additional 19.47%, today closing in on the 30,000 mark. So MicroStrategy last purchased Bitcoin in early April, funded with Bitcoin-backed loan. The software analytics company acquired 4,167 BTC at that time for roughly 190.5 million, at an average price of about 45,714 per Bitcoin. However, due to the nature of the loan, the company risks getting margin called if the price drops below 21,000. MicroStrategy can avoid getting margin called and having to sell some of the Bitcoin backing the loan by depositing more BTC as collateral. They have over, like, I think 100,000 Bitcoins or something like that. Yeah, they have more than 129,000 Bitcoins in total. So obviously they can put more into it as collateral. But still, nonetheless, I'm sure not an easy feeling for Michael Saylor right now, as far as, we're getting to 30,000. If we get to 24,000, I think he's going to have some ulcers going into whether or not he's going to get margin called on it or not. I doubt that he's going to get margin called on it because they have so much in reserves. They're just going to put it into it, and they'll be fine. They should be able to weather the storm, not a problem. Obviously, their stock is going to take a big hit because of it. But, it's the nature of the game, unfortunately. Next is Bitcoin sets new 2022 lows as analysts trip to 24K realized price entirely possible. So we could go all the way down to 24,000. Here's the main parts of it. So with the latest installment of a string of losses in May, the pair continued to trade under 33,000 at the time of writing. So they're talking about BTC USD, with weekly losses now at 15%. Bitcoin sweeping the lows here. That's probably next liquidity. Cointelegraph contributor Michael Van D. Pope told Twitter followers in one of several posts on the day, we could go towards 30,000, 30 or 31K-ish, as that's a daily block, but I'd be looking at longs around these regions. So we are seeing a little bit of support, obviously right now. It's bouncing off of that. We'll see if they can hold it or not. But Bitcoin could dive to 25,000 or even lower. And Matthew Hyland said break below 33K and 28K is a certainty. So obviously people are pricing this action in. Among this week is Dylan Leclerc, who identified Bitcoin's realized price, the total at which each coin last moved, as a likely target. Bitcoin dipped down to its realized price. Average on-chain cost base is entirely possible and has been consistent with previous market bottoms in bear market cycles. He began a Twitter thread by stating on May 9th, so realized price is 24.3K at the moment. And here is his tweet. So here is the standardized ratio between market price and realized price. Market value to realized value, MVRV. 24K would be in the green zone. Again, dips to / below realized price have historically signaled a capitulation style bear market bottom is in or close. So at least we have that to look forward if that happens. Going back to December, I outlined this possibility and prefaced it with the opinion that it's unlikely to occur unless a significant liquidity crisis emerged in legacy markets. Dow Jones, NASDAQ, it's happening obviously. Well, it looks like we're getting one. Stay safe out there. That's the best thing I can tell you guys also is stay safe out there. Obviously, don't leverage right now into anything. Buy the dips if you can. Weather the storm. I think we'll be better off on the other end of it. All right, finally, Argo provided their numbers. So here is the details. So during the month of April, Argo mined 166 Bitcoin or Bitcoin equivalent compared to 163 BTC in March. So 3 more Bitcoins than in March. Based on, and here's the thing that I'm kind of off a little bit on their numbers, but we'll get into it here. So based on daily foreign exchange rates and cryptocurrency prices during the month, mining revenue in April amounted to 5.52 million this is not euros, this is pounds, or 6.83 million USD dollars. I think what's happening here is they're using the daily production numbers and using the daily exchange rates for the cryptocurrency Bitcoin. And then from that, they are obviously getting those numbers here because I had them much lower. And we'll look at that here in a minute. Also, Argo generated this income at a Bitcoin and Bitcoin equivalent mining margin of approximately 75%. So running the math on that, I think I came up with, well, Bitcoin right now they're using, I think, roughly like 33,000 per Bitcoin. So if we take that times 0.25, it costs them about $8,250 to mine a single Bitcoin at these levels. At the end of April, the company owned 2,682 Bitcoin, of which 235 were BTC equivalents. At the end of March, I had them at 2,700, so it looks like they have sold some of their Bitcoin in the recent month of April. So whatever they made, 163 here, they made plus they were, what is that? They sold another 18, so what is that? I'm doing this my math. 181 Bitcoins or so they sold, looks like, in April. And then we have in promotion announcements, so Justin Nolan to Chief Growth Officer. He's been with the company for a little bit here, which is fine. So let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them, and we'll call it a day. Okay, that's the latest numbers we have here. Argo, there we go. So one thing they didn't provide, which I was a little surprised that they didn't provide any growth in hash rate, which would have been nice to see. So it looks like they've been flat for the past couple of months as far as hash rate growth is. I think they're just waiting to build out, or at least they're not providing that number. So here's what we have for them. So 166 Bitcoin mined. I have them at 6.24 million. They reported it to be 6.83. So about 600,000 more. And that's why I think they're using the daily values of what they produced, using that daily number for Bitcoin, and then adding that all up throughout the month. Because I'm using the end of month number, and I'm getting 6.2 million in USD. And looking at it, it's obviously 3 more Bitcoins than the prior month, which is okay, which isn't bad. But other than that, institutions. Looked at institutions for them also. Institutions for them have on 5/6. So this was last week when I did this. Looked into the numbers. Was pretty much the same thing. They did increase a little bit. About 70,000 shares were increased on the institution side. So it went up to 16.01. Stronghold, 2 strong buys, 2 regular buys, and then price has changed only in the high to $3.33 from $3.53, average 281 from 298, and low of 202 from 214. So a decrease on the analysts' estimates on that. Okay, so here we have April. They're at 960 petahash, or 1.6 petahash, not petahash, exahash. Sorry. 1.6 exahash, and they've been that for the past, looks like 4 months here, since January, it looks like. I haven't seen any updates for them as far as increased in numbers. The other thing is, it looks like they were possibly only mining for 26 days in April instead of 30. You can see here, and that is the only way I could get them to 6.8, which is what they reported. But if I got them down to the end of the month here, which I have them at 6.24 numbers, if they were using all the numbers that were mined during the day or for the month, and then using the end of month number for Bitcoin, that's what you would be at. But they're using, I think, like I said, the daily price of Bitcoin and whatever they mine for that day and calculating it all. And that's how they get to 6.8. So they were still down, at least by my numbers, they were down for at least 4 days or so to get into that number there, which they didn't report any downtime at all on the report. Other than that, let me see, what else do we have here? They are about 43% operational right now from what they're going to be. And the hash rate average per miner is about 61 terahash, which is pretty low. And that is basically because they do have a lot of these miners here that are the 38,700, unless something has changed and I'm not aware of it, but this is where we are at right now. What else can I show you? Right now for the first quarter, looks like they made about 19.4 million, roughly right around there. And if they're using the daily numbers for Bitcoin and calculating it that way, I'm going to be off because I'm using the end of the month numbers for Bitcoin and whatever they produced for the month to come up with the values. And I think that might be just because they are in England. I wonder if they have different reporting requirements on their production, which might be the case. If anybody knows on that one, you can obviously comment down below and let me know if that is the case. Be interested to find out. HODL position, so 2,682, it's valued about 80 million right now. That's 26% of their market cap, and one share has about 17 cents of Bitcoin HODL in it right now. Market cap is at 306 million, and obviously the price is at 63 cents right now. And what else can I share with you guys? So looking at the price earnings multiple right now, where they are at 63 cents, they're about 4.5 price earnings multiple right now. Everything is just so, beaten down right now. It's not even funny. But I think we'll get through this. It's going to be a rough couple more months, possibly. We'll see how Bitcoin does. It is what it is, guys. I know it's tough, especially watching your portfolio go down 70, 80%, depending on what you have. It's really tough. You're kind of second guessing yourself. Did you make the right decision or not? I can't speak for everybody, but I think this is at least the price going down on all of these makes them more attractive to buy, especially them being way undervalued, in my opinion. And if you believe in Bitcoin, like I keep saying, if you believe in Bitcoin going to possibly 100,000, 500,000, a million in 10 years, whatever it is, this is a buying opportunity in my opinion, at least. Not financial advice, as always, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you guys very much for doing it. Also, as always, Patreon members get the spreadsheets. Thank you to my Patreon members for their support. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully the market will be a little bit better. Hopefully we'll have at least one day in green. And we'll see what else happens. So the only one that I'm still waiting on is Mawson to provide their numbers, and then we'll compare the miners to each other, see how they did for the April on that. So that's it. That's all I got. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, bye.